did you learn from being a head coach and now coming back as a DC?
Yeah, I think when you go through experiences, when I first became a coordinator at the Colts and then becoming the head coach of the Chicago Bears, I think you learn a lot, right? You want to learn and grow from every experience and impart that wisdom onto the next crew, and that's what we're going to do here. So it's you learn a bunch of things that are different and things that you grow from, and it's important to do that.
When you, in your first stint, you had some weapons, obviously, as linebackers, coach, and passing game coordinator, but coming back, you got a Micah Parsons. So, how do you, from your vantage point, how do you plan, without giving too much away, to kind of utilize his ability to both play off ball but also rush the pass rush?
Yeah, Micah's a premier pass rusher. We're going to use him that way, certainly, and he's a heck of an athlete and do a lot of different things for us on defense. And when you have a guy like that, you want to be able to utilize his skill set. And as we're around him more, we'll be able to see what that skill set is and really take advantage of that.
You guys live in the reality of what can happen to coaches. How do you sort of pick yourself up mentally after what happened and sort of get back on the horse?
Yeah, I'm just grateful for the opportunity, really, just to work with this crew. I want to really thank the Jones family for bringing me on as a defensive coordinator and Brian Schottenheimer. Really excited about the opportunity to do that. And going forward, just really attacking this job and working with the players to have an attacking defense.
Steve Sable's D210 Sports, what entices you about coaching with the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, I was here 7 years before, so I know the family well. I know the community. I know the fan base. And it's exciting to be back. And that's what excites me the most, the fan base, the players that we get to work with, and working with the Jones family and Brian. So excited.
As a former head coach, how do you help Brian, as a first-year head coach?
Yeah, again, the first couple of meetings I had with him, I said, I'm here for you. I want to really just do a good job of bouncing ideas off of me, experiences that I had, and just working together, to be able to utilize me because I do have the experience of being a head coach for him and to make his job easier.
How important was it for you to bring some of your guys from Chicago and Indy with you here?
Yeah, I wanted to really have just a clear view of when I did the interview process with Brian Schottenheimer to be able to look and see at the defensive staff. And we brought some guys here, but we got some new faces too. I always believe that having new ideas in your staff every single year is important to be able to do that. And we're changing and adjusting our scheme every single year, and it has to grow every single year to really be in front of the league, so to speak. But also to really utilize your skill sets of the players you have currently on your roster.
Getting back to Micah, how many conversations have you had with him already? And certainly this is his third defensive coordinator, I think, or maybe fourth out since he's been in the league. Obviously different systems, and have you impressed him on the importance of using him to the best of his ability and moving him around like you've done in the past, or what's the focus there?
Yeah, I really can't talk much football at this time of year with the guys. Just talk with him more personally what he was doing. I think he was at Disney with his kids at the time, but he knows that we'll adjust and make him in the best light that he can be in terms of position, in terms of pass rush, and really utilizing what he does best, and that's rushing the passer.
Matt, did you do any after action from your time in Chicago of what happened and what went wrong between then and now when you got hired here?
Yeah, you always do that. I do that every single year, reflecting of what you could do better on everything, and it's important that you do that. You look at what we did well and what you could improve, and not only from last year, but even from the beginning. How you hired your initial staff, from A to Z, really from that. So it's always growing and improving every single year.
What do you think you learned in that couple months between jobs?
I just really relish the opportunity, that we had, and also what's in the future. Looking at what really could happen in the future, and what this team can be now that I'm with the Dallas Cowboys, and the vision we have for them, and really what they can be. And that's what excites me the most.
What concept or philosophy would you say is like the hallmark of the defensive philosophy that you have?
Yeah, pretty simple. We take the ball away. That's what we do. We stop the run, and we want to make exciting plays for our football team, and that's really what we do.
Matt, Louis Scruggs from NBC5. Looking at what Philadelphia did in the Super Bowl, they were able to get up there with their 4. How do you get your defensive line to that kind of championship level where you can win the division again?
Yeah, that's really about getting the depth there that we need. I know that we've had some free agents leave us over the last couple years, but they're really some good pieces that are there. to work from. So it's exciting to be able to look at that in the future in terms of draft and acquiring other players that are at special talent guys, and we're excited to get that done.
Matt, I know it's only been a few weeks, but what's been your impression of Schotty as a head coach so far?
Just the enthusiasm, the buy-in that he has, the conviction, the energy that he brings to everybody every single day. So I'm excited about that.
You brought up stop and run. It's been a bugaboo around here for a long time. How do you
Definition of bugaboo.
It's been a problem.
Okay.
They haven't been able to get it done. How do you get this team to finally stop the run?
Yeah, it's really about fundamentals. It's about fundamentals, playing your technique, and obviously the better players you have, the better they are. So it's important to have that too. But it's about guys being in the right spot and being where they're supposed to be, with the demeanor, that they need to have. So, we've had some good run defenses in the past here. When I was back with Marinelli, I know we had a few years where we were really good. So we're excited about getting that back.
Is it more about the scheme, or is it about the type of personnel that you need?
It's both. It's always both. You can run the same scheme with really good players and it works really well, and run the same scheme with other guys and it's not as good. But this is a player's game, so the talent level does matter. But I do believe we can be where we're supposed to be and have really good fundamentals to really help enhance the run game.
You brought up Marinelli's scheme, and I know you have Mike on the edge, but how important is having a difference maker in the middle, a defensive tackle in the middle to make this thing go?
Yeah, to have pieces along the line, I think, is very important, and the more you have, the better. And you can see that with a couple people in our division. It's important that you have that. The more dominant players, you can't just look and see, and pick on a certain guy in terms of in the run or the pass protection. So it's good to have at least two guys, maybe three guys opposite each other.
In the time since you were last in Dallas, what would you say you've maybe changed the most philosophically, or anything that you believe differently now?
Just really changing, molding the scheme based on the players' skill sets, based on what you have. I really believe we have two really good corners here. I'm excited about working with those guys. Our safeties are really good players. So we have some cool pieces in the back end. So I'm excited to work with those guys.
Matt, how do those two compare to Jalen Johnson and Tyreek Stevenson in Chicago?
Yeah, I believe the guys we have here are the two best in the league. They really are. They're top notch, top five for sure. Excited to work with those guys. They got length. They have speed. They have really good coverage ability. It all starts with being able to play man coverage, I believe. Be able to match guys up and stay with your man, and then work our zones from there.
When you were here the first time,
Go ahead.
When you were here the first time, it was clearly on at least a defensive coordinator track. What's it like to be back in that role?
Yeah, I've always loved putting the game plans together, working with the players, calling the game. On game day, that's always been something that I've loved to do. Going against the great offensive coordinators in this league, that's something that's fun for me, and our staff putting those game plans together. So I'm just excited about it.
Matt, in addition to the two corners that you mentioned and Mike, Stephen Jones last month said Mozzie Smith was someone that came up in your assessment of the defense. What are your plans for him to unlock his full potential?
Yeah, I'm excited about Mozzie. I liked him coming out. Real explosive athlete, big body type that can move really well. So we're excited about bringing his games to the next level, and he can certainly do that.
Some coaches have kind of taken a little sabbatical, like Vrabel, Pete Carroll, Mike Zimmer before he got here. Why'd you want to get right back on the horse?
Yeah, that's a good question. It was mainly my wife. She didn't want me to. She wanted me to go to work. No, and I did too. I was excited about it after a couple of days, a couple of weeks after taking that break, and I was excited to get back on it. And had several phone calls from a bunch of different people, and I was excited about looking at different opportunities. And this was the best opportunity that I felt was really cool for me to come back to Dallas. I have a lot of familiar faces here, starting from the top all the way to everybody in the building. Cherish my time here in Dallas, and I'm excited about being back.
You talked about Dallas Cowboys radio with your previous relationship with Will McClay.
Mm-hmm.
You think that kind of gives you maybe a head start, or you guys already have an understanding of what you're looking for?
Yeah, for sure. Will McClay has done an awesome job here acquiring talent with the Jones family, and excited to get back with him. He knows what we're looking for. But again, we're not taking that for granted. We want to get back together and making sure we've been gone. I've been gone 7 years now, so how has he enhanced? How have we enhanced in terms of looking at players in our scheme and that's going to be a really fun challenge for him and I to get on the same page again, and we're already started that process.
We're going to finish with Clarence right here.
Where you are in the free agent process, and how much is retaining Osa key to what you guys want to do going forward?
Yeah, not going to comment about the free agents, but certainly Osa is the guy that we like a lot, and he's a really good player for us. And but we'll look at other guys too, and but we're in the middle of that process right now.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Got it.
Welcome back.